What's the stupidest thing you've heard a person say aloud in public? I've probably heard worse at some point, but I remember sitting in a Starbucks on campus and this girl was telling this guy about her trip to Italy, and at one point the guy goes, "So where do you want to go next?" And she says, "I've never been to Europe before, so hopefully that." Lol. Yeah, Europe is right in front of the UK. Just out of reach. It's hard to miss. Since when has anyone died from getting stabbed? What are you gonna do? Stab me? Stabbed man. Julius Caesar. A bit late to the party, but I heard a woman explain to another woman how planes don't actually fly from America to Europe. They just hang in the sky motionless while the earth moves below them until Europe appears and then they land. Edit. Wow, this blew up. Also thanks for the silver and gold. Imagine a debate between this woman and a flat earther. I just imagined it. It was troubling. Breastfeeding is unnatural. Girl in my year 11th health class. It is if your breasts aren't hungry. That's when you gotta make little airplane noises and fly the spoon into them. Co-worker at my old job while we were setting up for Black Friday. It's pretty crazy that Black Friday actually falls on a Friday this year. Tell them that Halloween falls on a Friday 13th this year. Why did I just look at my calendar? On the bus full of high school students. She's half Asian, half Chinese, and don't leave us hanging. What about the other half? Half human. And what about the third half? Half student. I heard two girls talking about baking when one said she wanted to try baking a bread at home but she didn't know how to make the crust of the bread. She also said she was thinking about baking the crust only because she liked it more than the rest of the bread. She truly thought that the crust was made separately. There is a Japanese bread in which the crust is made separate from a different dough. But that probably wasn't the case. What's the name of that bread? Crusto breado. No, that's Spanish bread. They asked for Japanese. Crusto burrito. Chickens are not animals. They shit eggs, said a friend who was trying to explain how she can eat poultry and be vegan at the same time. I was in line at a KFC when the guy in front of me asked, "How many pieces of chicken are in a 15-piece bucket?" 13.5. I'm vegan but I still eat chicken and turkey, so can I get the Cuban? A sandwich with pulled pork and ham, made with turkey instead of the ham. Me, sure. So do you want me to take the pulled pork off, or make it with double turkey? No, leave that on. Me, visible confusion. Okay. He comes back later with his lady all mad saying he wants a new sandwich because he didn't know pulled pork was from pig and he doesn't eat pig because he's vegan. I also forgot to mention the sandwich comes with cheese. He didn't complain about that part. It honestly breaks my brain that people can become vegan without actually knowing what foods are made from animals. Not even obscure things like gelatin or hidden dairy content, but meat. When I worked in Congress, I frequently gave tours of the Capitol. As I was wrapping up the tour, one of the constituents asked me to explain the difference between the Capitol and the White House. Okay, sure, not everyone is knowledgeable about American government. I gave them a quick explanation and figured it would be sufficient. Nope, I was clearly mistaken. I then proceeded to listen to this person loudly proclaim that I was incorrect and that the White House is the same thing as the Capitol. Bruh. I got 400 days absence in a year but still passed. High school friend dropped this when we were measuring dicks on how we got away with things. During WW2 history class, a girl actually thought the front line was a piece of rope held by the troops. What a deadly game of tug of war. Does myself count? I was shopping with my spouse after our child was born. We were in the baby aisle. She picked up a bottle of baby oil, which prompted me to ask aloud, "Wait, baby oil is actually for babies?" A woman who had been walking into the aisle laughed audibly and immediately walked away. Gotta flush the system and replace the fluids every 3 to 5 months. Newer models don't need as much maintenance. Does an egg get boiled before or after it comes out of the chicken? There is a starlet in my country who's famous. I don't know. For being famous, I guess. Here are some of best-ofs. Translated, I would bulldoze down Church of St. Donat, built in 9th century, and build an older one. Greetings to my parents, especially mom and dad. I'd love to have more self-confidence in other people. I'm always included in mobbing. I have 5 mobile phones. She never ceases to amaze. Yo, Harry Potter Ice Day book. It's a movie. Isn't that a video game? Shortly after 9/11, my wife and I were in the UK. On the way home, The customs officer at the airport was dead serious. Officer, are you a US citizen? Wife, yes. Officer, it says here you were born in New Mexico. So when did you become a US citizen? Wife, at birth. New Mexico is in the US. Officer, no it isn't. It's in Mexico. That's why it has Mexico in the name. Just like New York is in York, which is in the UK. Ivory comes from elephants. Ebony comes from rhinoceroses. Me. Ebony is a type of wood. Got. You're a dumbass. Me. Edit. Just so there is no confusion. Not my S/O. You're both wrong. They both come from pianos. Whilst on Thailand I had someone say I don't like it. There are just too many Asians here. In retaliation for 9/11 we should bomb the Taj Mahal. Birds are mammals, right? No, they're birds. I know, but they're still mammals, right? I heard some people debating whether birds were mammals or primates. My friend has said two of the stupidest things I've ever heard. We were discussing climate change solutions in class and she says, can't we fill a hot air balloon with all the carbon dioxide and send it into space? And regarding deforestation, why don't we just clone fully grown trees? Where are your extra medium dog sweaters? I would love to see an extra medium dog though. Standing at the foot of the Jesus statue in Rio de Janeiro I heard an American ask his tourist guide, are these mountains natural or man-made? My gym has just refinished the men's locker room. It came out that there would only be personal showers, not community ones. I overheard two gentlemen in their 60s through 70s. This is all because of the millennials. What are millennials? Younger people. You know they've never been in the army or navy. Separate shower stalls so we can eat our goddamn avocados in private. Earth is flat because if it would be round, then it would bounce. Two grandmas talking in France. Well, there is definitely more wind ever since the fall of the Berlin Wall. They were dead serious. I heard that as a kid and I still laugh at it. Not me, but my dad has heard. I set out all these bird feeders and bad baths but not one bird comes to my yard. I bet it is all those pesticides that crop duster is laying down in the field. Local school board member, as they were standing in her 5-acre yard with 20 or more cats running around. Question. A recent poll shows that 1/5 of Americans can't locate the US on a world map. Why do you think this is? Answer. I personally believe that US Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should our education over here, and the US should help the US and should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries so we are able to build up our future. Heard on a crowded bus. She's half white, half black and half Chinese. I swear I could almost hear everyone within earshot collectively facepalm. Half a man, half bear, half pig. Man, bear, pig. I don't understand why I need to be on time for work. Boss, you don't have to be here anytime anymore. Traveling back from Berlin to the UK, I was sat next to a couple whose conversation had me wondering if I was being secretly recorded. Woman to her husband, I wish we had managed to get to the beach and the seaside in Berlin. It looks so lovely from up here. Do you think we'll go over the channel on the way home? I'd prefer to go around and travel overland all the way. Is this Snowdon we are going over now? We are descending into Manchester. I think this is the same cloud we went through on our way out. I have posted this before, but I went to college in a small town and every Thursday they would have a mobile DMV. When I had to get my license renewed they were having trouble with the internet. The woman in charge instructed the other woman working there to shake out all the wires because sometimes the information gets clogged up in them. An uppity woman to a server in a restaurant. Do you know who I am? Do people realize how ridiculous they seem when they try to throw their weight around like that? Woman, do you know who I am? Voice from across the room, a bitch. Men can't be raped because they think about sex all the time. My sex ed teacher in high school told me the same thing. It's been over a decade since then and it still terrifies me that anyone could possibly think that, especially a sex ed teacher. When I worked at an aquarium I overheard an American tourist say, wow, these penguins look just like birds. I thought they were descendants of bowling pins. The bowling pin massacre almost wiped out the entire species. Penguins are lucky to be here. While driving around Mexico City. Person 1. Wow, Mexico City is huge. Me. Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest cities in the world. American girl. Nah, Texas is. Sitting around a bonfire. I can already feel how I'm getting a tan. You can get a tan from fire. Which is to say you can get a mild first degree burn from sitting too close to a fire. Not like, easily, but you can. The green salmonellas, when her salad was served with parsley as decoration. I grew up on a cattle farm. A woman about 15 years older than me, I was 16, asked me, after you cut off the meat from the cow, how long until it grows back so you can cut more. I wish so badly that she was fucking with me. She was not. Saw Avatar in the theater, and as everyone was walking out, a random lady we passed said, out loud, and very seriously, I wish real life was in 3D. Never have I laughed so hard inside. You have been visited by the smart studying doggo. You'll be blessed with good grades only if you subscribe to Comment Awards and like the video. PG! On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, 1 lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, food race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted, looking for success, like I'm crazy and lost it, higher than a jet, guess my weed is a rocket, the comments that my vids get are wild.